Okay, I'm going to tell a story that happened to me in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I was working at the Ramada Hotel. It no longer is in function. The hotel no longer is. It's being renovated right now. But this happened in around 1998, 1999. I know it had been summertime because I was. The situation is I was out in the patio of the Ramada Hotel, and as part of the maintenance staff, I was asked to empty the trash cans in the patio area out back. Now, the trash can I'm using, it's very, very small, but it's about quarter the size of the typical trash cans, which were very large square ones. Now, fortunately, I came up with the idea. The trash bag was a little bit heavy, so I looked down. I had a little trash can, but the fortunate part is I had to turn it sideways and pull the trash can out because the trash bag was kind of heavy. Fortunately, I did this because suddenly I'm on my knees and I pull the trash bag out when I hear pew, over top of my head, not even barely a few inches, not 6 inches to a foot, barely that much. Pew. Now, I'm in the patio area behind Ramada's hotel. Now, below us is the maintenance stairway. Above me would be the pool area, but on this side would be a very large window, which was an abandoned restaurant in the hotel. Now, once we went back years later, and it was a newly renovated. They renovated and opened up that restaurant. But before it was a storage. It was an old abandoned restaurant, but it was a very large window panel. Whatever went over my head cracked this large window, about a quarter of that window, and it cracked it like a spider web. Didn't break panels, break pieces. So I'm thinking, and right behind me, okay, the Ramada pool is about this direction, but behind us was an 18-hole golf course, which was part of Lancaster Host Resorts part of property that was next to us. That 18-hole golf course. I'm saying, wait a minute. Where would this sound come from? It sounded like a bullet. What was I? That's what it sounded like. Pew! And it cracked the window behind me. So we had the radios to make we had walkie-talkie radios to make contact with the front desk or our maintenance staff. So I got a hold of my father, or I just got on the radio and said, "I think somebody just shot at me out here, or shot a bullet out here." That's what it sounded like. And the window to the old restaurant is cracked. So my father also gets on the walkie-talkie and tells the hotel desk to call the police. Shots fired. The police show up, and one went inside the abandoned restaurant, one outside. And they took their flashlights. They're looking for a kind of bullet fragment because they could see a hole in the window, and it's like a very tiny hole, very tiny. So it wasn't a really big, it's a large bullet. I'm not sure what it was. But he's taking a while, taking his flashlight, looking for the bullet fragments. Or something, whatever caused that hole or damage to that window. They could not find a thing. The police officer gets on his radio and is curious, where did this come from? Because I told him it came from that direction, so then the 18-hole golf course part of Host Resort. He gets on his radio. Is there any patrol cars on a particular road behind the golf course? And a patrol on the radio did answer and said, we did get, there's apparently a report of somebody shooting something. I just now remembered that recently they did get a report of somebody shooting that he couldn't tell where it was coming from. The patrol car they got a hold of did pick up these two punks, I would call them. They were aging between 17 and 21 years old. About my height, or if not a little bit taller. And I'd say about, not even 10 minutes, 8 minutes later, they bring these two guys to our patio area. And the police officer made them apologize. They found out that these two were firing rifles. Now, I don't know if it was a BB or a pellet. I don't think it was a bullet, but something. It's surprising that a pellet gun or BB gun. It said that the whole was not even a dime. Very, very tiny. But it would travel the distance over the golf course to reach and hit and kind of contact with that window and do that kind of damage. This wasn't a thin window either. When they brought these two, they did not have the rifles in their hands. Probably they took the rifles off of them. These two kids were being charged with reckless endangerment, reckless use of firearms. The officer tells, "You're going to apologize to this person. He was doing his job, and you're recklessly firing a weapon." They did apologize to me. So I wanted to tell this story. Now, if I had not gotten on my knees and pulled this trash can sideways, if I had been standing up, it's possible that bullet fragment, whether it was a pellet or a BB, whatever it was, because the police officer searched it all, never could find the fragment, never find whatever it was that struck that window. I could have been struck in the head, penetrated my head. I could have been either brain damaged, brain dead. I wouldn't say like a saying being killed, but I've been seriously wounded or seriously hurt because it would have possibly struck my head. So I wanted to tell this story that happened to me at a Ramada hotel, but it's no longer Ramada. It was much many years later, Lancaster Family Resort, but it's now changed again. It's really renovated. But I wanted to tell this story. It is a factual story of almost getting shot at while doing my job, but it was because I was on my knees pulling a trash bag sideways. And if anybody's ever had a situation they can't pick a trash bag up, it's too heavy, the bag's too heavy, get on the knees and pull it sideways. If you work in a restaurant, it's very easy because I do it. But I wanted to tell the story of what happened at me at this place. Is I almost got shot at. I could have been seriously injured. So I wanted to tell this happened 1998, 1999, long time ago in Lancaster, and we no longer live there. But I had to tell this story.